Welcome to the Bill and Gypsy Show,
where we help you turn your wedding dreams of sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows,
turning them into amazing experiences that'll be remembered for a lifetime and create oohs and ahs from your guests and family.
Well, Bill Hansen has catered well over 10,000 weddings starting back in the 1960s. And y'all, while he is 74 years young, about to turn 75, he is not retired.
Whoops.
He is refired. He has actually catered in all the South Florida wedding venues such as Villa Woodbine, Vizcaya, Deering Estates, the Bath Club, you name it, he has catered there. And it's sought after by those folks with very distinctive tastes.
And there's lots more to Gypsy than sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. She's lived weddings. She's actually lived weddings her whole life. And, you know, she knows what works. She knows what doesn't work. And she can help you create a wedding that'll turn every one of your visions of sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows into a real experience.
On today's show, our guest is the lovely Christi Tasker of the Tasker Agency. She's going to share with us all the tips on the do's and don'ts of planning a destination wedding, publishing your wedding in a magazine, the latest trends in jewelry, and so much more. It is truly a pleasure to introduce Christi, our guest for today. Welcome, Christi.
Thank you so much, Gypsy. Thank you guys for having me.
Christi, I remember meeting you at Venue Pros, which was a group we started to help clients find the right venues. And during that time, I actually visited you over at Casa, Winwood, which was a venue that you had dealing with experiential marketing. And how did Casa Winwood and other venues that you work with tied in with weddings and events?
Well, that's actually a great question. So we started Casa Winwood to better help people in the general public understand what products were about. So like if you have smart home products, those are really hard products to understand exactly how they work without being able to actually use them. We had Kohler's smart faucets. So who knows that you can actually go up to a faucet, put your hands under it, and it automatically turns on. Unless you experience that, even though you can watch it on a video, you're kind of thinking, well, somehow they turned on the faucet. And they're just showing a girl like washing their hands under it. So you don't really get to experience those things without an experiential marketing venue. So what we did is we took Casa Winwood, we put everything that you would need in an entire house into one space so that designers and architects could bring their clientele in to see a myriad of things as they were experiencing the whole house. So people could come there and either host events. We really didn't, it's kind of funny, Bill, you'll love this. This is, you know, with you having the event venues and being in events, we didn't really foresee ourselves hosting weddings in the very beginning. We didn't see ourselves hosting parties and other marketing firms wanting to use the space for their meetings, and doers and all of the other beverage companies wanting to come in and actually shoot their videos, and food companies wanting to come in and shoot their photography and videography in our kitchen. We didn't really foresee that all the way in the very beginning. So we just kind of let the space adapt as it went along. So that's how we got started with the experiential venue. And of course, weddings followed.
Talking about weddings, we had a lovely chat the other day, and you mentioned how you actually planned a wedding, a destination wedding. And you told me about all the lessons that you really learned and what brides need to know out there about obtaining a license and all the details about vendors and all. Can you share that with us, please?
Yes, absolutely. So what was funny about the venue is my husband and I, we married in 2012. And we decided we were going to get married in the Dominican Republic, and that was one of our favorite places. It's very rustic, very, you know, just untouched territory, really. We love Cabarete, so it's not the typical wedding destination that you would go to. Typically, most people would go to the opposite end of the Dominican Republic to get married. We decided that we were going to get married in Cabarete, and that's the kite surfing capital of the world. So within the kite surfing capital of the world, there's not really a lot of pastors, okay? Not Christian pastors. And we were definitely determined that we had to have, a Christian pastor. And one of the only Christian pastors that knew how to do weddings was from Canada. My husband, I'm from America. My husband's from Great Britain, and we're in the Dominican Republic, and the guy's from Canada. 4 different
nationalities.
4 different countries. That was not going to work at all. So we decided we were going to go, and we were going to have a pre-wedding to make sure that we were actually married. Because my husband said, can I actually imagine like waking up at our 30th anniversary and all of a sudden realizing we're not even married?
Oh my goodness.
I said, but that could work, both ways, right? Just kidding. No. So we decided, we lived in Las Vegas at the time, full time. So we decided we were going to go down to the little white chapel where lots of celebrities had gotten married, and it was literally within walking distance of our place. So we hit the strip and we walked down. We get married at the little white chapel with some of our friends that were also attending the wedding. We didn't let everyone know, like, we're just doing this for the certificate. I didn't dress up or anything like that at all, because I didn't want it to feel like our real wedding. We just wanted to feel like the legalities of it. So we were glad that we did that. $65 later, we say that we knew that we were married in Las Vegas. And so in the Dominican Republic, we go there. We actually hired one of the wedding planners that was the most notable. He was from Canada, supposedly very reputable. And, so we're going through the process, and all along I kept feeling like he wasn't listening to what we were saying, because, being a designer, being in the event business, we just needed someone to facilitate what we needed, not everything he was used to doing. So we were very clear on that. Like for photographers, I made it very clear that, I really loved the photographer that I worked with in the Dominican Republic who shot mine and Boyd's engagement photos. So with those engagement photos, they weren't very expensive. The guy was just getting started, and he was amazing. But I wanted to use him for the wedding. So the wedding planner says, oh, no. He's, I'm not really sure he's very well qualified. So, I would hate for you not to get your wedding photos. And so basically he talks me out of using this gentleman. And we're going to have some of his pictures, so everybody will know his name, and we'll put a link and everything below. So we decided not to go with him. We decided to go with the recommendation of the event planner. So I say, number one, if you don't trust your event planner, if you have bad vibes, back away immediately, because I had bad vibes. Boyd wanted to, he was thinking things were good, and this guy speaks perfect English, so let's stay with him. And he's there full time. So we did not go, we went with his selection for the photographer. And the photographer, number one, never delivered all of the raw imagery. I looked at the photographer's website, and almost every photo that I liked was actually of her and her husband.
Oh,
You yourself, when I look back, I'm like, after they didn't deliver the photos and videos, even 2 years later, still didn't deliver everything. They claim that their computer hard drive failed, so on and so forth. But the reality is, if they hadn't tried to take the footage to edit, and they should have handed it to me the next day on an SD card, that would have been completely off the table. There would have been no issues and no delays in getting things. So to this day, I still don't have really all the photos and all the videos. And many of the photos and videos that I use are ones that either I took personally, so like my wedding dress and other things. There are other photos that are the best of what she took. My eyes are closed, and prior I had told the photographer, I do have a flash issue. You're going to have to double take every single photo to make sure that you actually get my eyes open. Those are little details you have to know about yourself and convey to the photographer and videographer. So that's my story for the wedding. So
wow, that's amazing. That sounds to me like what I like to call two friends and a couple of strangers. It sounds to me like your planner and the photographer were in cahoots, and the photographer was paying the planner something, some kind of a referral fee. And also another story I remember was a bride who hired a planner who she wasn't happy with. And rather than let the planner go, she hired another planner to oversee the work of the first one. So to avoid those types of miscues, one question that you would suggest our viewers ask, what should they ask? The first question when they meet with a venue or when they meet with a vendor? First question.
Well, the very first question that I would ask is for references of the top 3 clients. And then I would review the work that they had from those top 3 clients, or I would actually, better yet, actually, here's what I would do, Bill. That's actually a great question. I would go to their website and I would pick out the exact imagery that I liked, or, you know, from each vendor. So let's just say I'm going to your website. I would find the exact imagery that I like, and I would ask, whose event did this occur at? I want to call them for a reference. Because the other thing many times people don't realize is when you're looking at even a vendor site, you don't get to see, you're getting to see just the highlights. You're getting to see the only 5 images maybe, or 10 images of the best things. You're not getting to see what their deliverables of maybe the 100 images or the 150 images that you're getting within your contract, or that you're getting within your food. Because just because you've got the image on your website doesn't mean that that client was happy.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Great answer.
I tell you what, I love, we're going to talk about jewelry, and I just love those earrings of yours. We're going to talk about that. But before that, most brides want to always have their weddings published in a magazine. But today with social media, we know that all the friends and family are going to be there sitting down, watching the ceremony and clicking away. Is that going to hurt their chance of being published, or is it going to help them?
It actually hurts them from being published. So one of the other things that I did at my wedding, I'm known on NBC as a social media guru, and I speak to audiences worldwide regarding social media and technology. But at my own wedding, I wanted everyone to take photographs. So here's what I ask everyone to do. I asked them to take photographs and please upload them into Dropbox so that we had everyone's photographs. Because again, some people may think the photos are bad that they took. They don't realize that they can be edited. So I ask everyone to keep their camera lens clean and to please click away, take as many photos and videos as they wanted. I supplied them with a way to upload them to Dropbox afterwards. And believe it or not, those are the photos and videos, many of them that I actually use when I'm posting on social media regarding mine and Boyd's wedding. Because our friends' photos are better in most cases than some of the photos that were taken by the actual photographer and videographer. So, but I did not want them to post that day, okay? I made it very clear to my guests that I wanted to be the first to post. At the time, 2012, there was really no such thing as a wedding hashtag. We did actually have a hashtag. It was just Boyd and Christi. It was very simple. But we wanted to be the first to post, and it was okay that they shared their photos with us. That's what we ask for a gift. So instead of asking for any other gifts, we actually said, here's the gift that we want. We want privacy, because, you know, there are many people that are coming to our wedding that we didn't want everyone just to be posting like crazy online, because some of those people actually wanted privacy. They didn't want people to know where they were at the time. Because I'm also really big, and I don't like to post in the places in the moment, because I feel like it takes away from the moment and everybody's like looking down at their phones rather than paying attention and enjoying and having a good time. So it's a complete distraction. So I asked them, please, if you're on your phones, make it a camera, be making memories instead of posting memories. Like, let's post memories later, not in real time. So everyone respected that. Everyone had a great time. The other thing that we did is, like just so everyone could have a great time, we asked, hey, is there anything in this file that you don't want shared? So, I mean, like we had some funny dance moments. My cake was absolutely horrendous. Some people might think what happened with the cake was not ethical, but we had a good time, and we wanted everyone to feel relaxed and comfortable without, oh my gosh, they're gonna, it's gonna be all over social media when I wake up in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And, speaking of that, let me finish answering your question. I'm sorry, Gypsy. Bill, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but your one question that I didn't answer was regarding getting published. If your photos go on social media, they will not get published in a national magazine. So if they are beautiful enough, if they're similar looking photos, the one thing that publications will do is an image search. And if there's images that are out there on the web, they will find them, even if they're similar, even if your friend took the same image that the photographer took, they will not end up in a magazine. So if that's really the goal, or you're wanting to be able to pitch to a publication afterwards, or if any of your vendors are trying to pitch to a publication afterwards, mm-hmm. It's very important that they not go on social media. For instance, with the Property Brothers, mm-hmm. They did not let anyone know exactly where they were. They specifically said no photos at the wedding. They said no photos at all. So those are very important things, because they knew, as much as people might love to see celebrities, one of the ways celebrities make money are off of photos of themselves. So when they come to a space and they come to, especially a private event like that, it's very important to respect the bride and the groom's wishes. So that's all I'm going to say. Like, for instance, my daughter did not want me taking photos at her wedding. She was like, Mom, I don't want you to seem distracted. I don't want you to, because she knows I love taking photos, hobbyist photos. Many of them don't even get posted, but still, she didn't want me distracted, so I didn't do it.
Thank you.
Christi, you touched a little bit earlier about doing your homework and doing your research and actually reaching out directly to past clients to get the real story, because obviously every vendor and every venue, they're only going to show their best pictures. Are there any other tips that you might suggest with regards to doing research before you make a vendor or venue selection?
Absolutely. So the next step that I would make is actually obviously to review their online reviews. But I do want to say this regarding online reviews: many can be paid for, many can be adjusted. So Yelp will take away reviews, and reviews can be hidden and they can be negotiated away. So if you see reviews that are bad, number one, when you are reviewing reviews for any business, make sure that you're reviewing the reviewer. Like, go to see who else they reviewed, how many 5-star reviews they have, how many 3-star reviews. Because some people do nothing but complain about a business online, where others are actually giving kudos, and maybe they're giving too many. Maybe they're giving out paid reviews. They're not real. They're not genuine. And then lastly, intuition. Go with your intuition, because you're going to, go with your gut. You're going to spend a lot of time with that person. If they're late to a meeting in the very beginning, they haven't remembered specifics about your event. For instance, every time I would speak with our wedding planner or the photographer, they would either sway away from specifics. For instance, in our case, the event planner said, oh, like there was an itemized invoice and it was $7 for candles. And I just said, I want to know what kind of candles I'm getting. They're 50 candles at $7 each. We're maximized on budget here. I want to know what kind of candles these are. Can I save money on candles? Can I eliminate candles? Are these candles going to stay on for 12 hours? Do you know that they actually emailed me back? I said, because I kept pushing, saying I want a photo of the candle. And Boyd was thinking, honey, it's just $500. Like, just $500. And I said, honey, please, I just want a photo of the candle. That's it. Just a photo. They send a photo. It was of a tea light.
Exactly.
It was a tea light. Okay. So a tea light is 10 cents. Okay. I get it. It's a tea light in the Dominican Republic, but I can bring down tea light candles. Okay. I can go to the dollar store and get bags of tea light candles. Like, it's not a big deal to bring tea light candles. So then I lost trust immediately. So at that point, back to your point, Bill, we should have immediately fired the event planner.
I always say, one of my favorite sayings, excuse me for interrupting, but I had to get this out. And I use this often, and Gypsy will back me up on this. I always say, if you have to swallow a frog, you don't want to look at it very long. And
exactly, that's true.
Of hanging on and trying to be nice, you generally will pay for it down the road.
That is so true. And you know what? I'll say this, back to even the social media, the only people that did not respect our wishes on posting that day was the wedding planner and the photographer. They were trying to tag me. They were trying to go on my pages. They were trying to contact other friends that ended up asking me for reviews on them. So that's when I was saying, if somebody's tagged you and they haven't given you any kudos or commented or something, there's probably a reason.
Good point.
So I totally agree with you.
Goodness, we talked about just a few minutes ago. I mentioned about the jewelry and your earrings that I love. Can you tell us what's the latest trend in wedding jewelry?
So, well, in 2020, we're in 2020 right now. If anybody's watching this, it's kind of crazy that when it comes to wedding jewelry, I personally, and I'm a trend starter and not a trend follower per se, I like to buy things that I'm going to wear. Like, for instance, my wedding shoes. I still have those wedding shoes. They're not typical looking wedding shoes. They are Union Jack flags that were under my dress, that I actually wear sometimes to events. And I love being able to say, oh, these are my wedding shoes. And I love that, my photos show a little bit of personality. So I think within wedding attire, you should definitely be able to show your personality. I love being able to buy things that I normally maybe wouldn't buy, but yet I'll wear every day and wear them for the wedding. So that way you have memories to come. So for instance, at our wedding, guests got corsages, and the corsages were fabric and tulle corsages that they could wear every day. So those were some of the takeaways that were used on tables, but yet it's jewelry, it's brooches. So the brooches were also used as napkin ring holders. Our wedding napkins were monogrammed. So I took those with me. They're our linen napkins that we use in our house every day. And I love being able to incorporate those little things inside a wedding.
So right now we're in a pandemic, as everyone is aware. We're doing this on June 17th. It'll probably come out sometime in July because we like to work ahead. But talk to us a little bit about couples that are planning their weddings because of the economic situation that we're in right now. What kind of negotiating power do they have, particularly comparing this year to next year? Okay, so in other words, if they were ready to be wed this year, do you think they'd be in a better position to negotiate?
Absolutely. I mean, if I had planned a wedding or had planned to get married this year or next year, I would move forward with it right away. I would move forward with it as soon as possible. And I would contact the venues that I was considering, ask them what special rates I could get. And then I would try to maybe negotiate those rates 15 to 20% below whatever they are saying. Because that they're going to give you a special rate. I would probably consider cutting down on the size of the wedding because this will also help you. Boyd and I even said the one reason we're getting married in the Dominican Republic is because we couldn't afford to have 500 friends at a wedding, and whoever had a passport and was willing to travel there, that's who, you know, we would pay for to be at our wedding and have a very nice lobster steak. You know, those were things, you know, him being a pseudo chef, he you know, food is something he cares about. So it's not that we didn't make it about other people, but make it about you, because at the end of the day, you're going to have your photos left. You're going to have your very, very close friends and family with you anyway, whether it's in the middle of COVID or not, and move forward with something that you're going to enjoy for years to come. Don't think about the 300 or 400 people that may not be able to come. I mean, I personally find it somewhat of as a good excuse, to be really honest with you, Bill.
No, I agree. We're actually, we just got a notification from our fabulous engineer, Tony, in the background that we're almost out of time on this Zoom call. So rather, I know Gypsy had another question for you, but I think we probably should wrap it up at this point. And I got to tell you, Christi, you are an amazing guest. And as this Bill and Gypsy show takes off and becomes more and more popular, I really believe that, well, you'll be backed by popular demand, because you really, I learned a lot too from some of your tips. So I thought that was great. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I always have loved you. I always have admired you, and there was like that chemistry between the two of us when we met. I guess it was about 3-4 years ago. So thank you, thank you. For all our loyal viewers out there, we want you to turn in next week for another amazing guest. And Christi, you can contact Christi if you need some earrings or need some advice at Christi@taskeragency.com. If you viewers out there have questions, send them in. Send them into our, just post them on the YouTube channel. And if you liked what you saw today with Christi and Gypsy, and you can write me off, but the two girls, go ahead and click the like and subscribe if you'd like, and refer us, please. Refer us to other people who are interested in planning their weddings.
So, hit like, y'all. Hit like. Hit the like.
We need
Christi, I want to do jewelry with you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Bill can be the model. He can model.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, actually I have bow ties, feather bow ties.
Okay. We got it.
The only jewelry I have is my wedding ring, and there's 3 bands on it. And if you know me,
I have too, Bill.
I'll tell you. So anyway, that's it. God bless everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.